Hello and welcome to the 38th edition of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. It's the 8th episode of Season 4, when we are the show who compares and contrasts Fallout experiences through a lively roundtable discussion by playing through the same quests with characters who have been randomly assigned drastically different attributes. Welcome, everyone! Hi, I'm Andrew, and this episode we are joined... Ray, you're probably going to be leading the episode, so how's it going?
It's going great, Andrew. Good evening.
What's been going on? Lots of stuff's been going on with us, Ray, as in it feels like we haven't been on the air in like a month. Is that almost true?
It has been a while.
Yeah, we've...
Since the cystic fibrosis special?
Has it been that long? Wow. There was...
Might have been one more in there.
We did a feedback episode, maybe.
Yep. Yeah, we did.
Oh, but so much has happened. One of the main reasons that we weren't together on the air for that long period of time was that our host site was having technical difficulties. So as we were waiting that out, we were deciding, gosh, how long do you wait? Do we go ahead and hop over to something else? Do we twiddle our thumbs? Do we, So as we were sitting there waiting, we finally decided to pull the trigger, and we've switched to a more reliable podcast hosting service. But that also in turn means that we don't have a free of charge service anymore. So we have opened up a Patreon for any of those out there who have a little bit of expendable income, who think that the Fallout feed is an okay thing in this world. Then you can chip in $1 a month, and that would be awesome. And you can help us cover our podcasting hosting fees, so you can have us on a reliable basis, not have to take a month-long break. Yeah. So, Ray, wait, we actually have we have some sort of perk or something for being a Patreon a supporter, I believe. Don't we have a special? We're doing like a special episode, I believe. Like we're not just the Fallout feed, but the Skyrim guys too. We're all like getting together and doing special episodes for those special Patreon people who give us $1 a month. And that's not a horribly big amount. $1 a month, is it?
No. I mean, it's it certainly depends on a person's circumstances, but if at all possible, we'd appreciate it, because we definitely enjoy doing this and want to be able to keep producing content and getting it out onto the interwebs so that people can enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, sometimes people say they like it, so we'll continue to do it as long as we can. We don't mind doing it on the old service, just that every once in a while they would. This month-long break that they just recently had was by far the longest that I've ever experienced them being down. So it wasn't a usual thing, but just this one-time circumstance just let us know that, oh man, this is the sort of thing that can happen in the future. So if we want to provide consistent content for everyone, we're going to go ahead and switch to a more reliable service. So if you'd like to help that out, go to patreon.com/ASA podcasting. That'll help us out. Ray, there was some stuff you wanted to get into. You were really excited about a new mod that you came across on PC for Fallout 4, right?
Yeah, so ever since Chris Peters wrote in that email asking about Fallout 4 mods, and I realized how little I had actually been modding Fallout 4, I decided to, step it up a little bit, see if I couldn't, find some interesting things. I mod the heck out of Skyrim, so why not Fallout 4? And, one of the things that had always drawn me back to Skyrim is being able to use the alt start mod to, create a character with a completely different story than the main storyline, which is a struggle in Fallout 4. I had a pair of saves, one male, one female, that are inside the vault. And I could use those to, say that, this character actually just stumbled on the vault and checked it out and was just on their way out. Um, but it was limiting in the story that you could tell. The storyline still was pushing you towards the finding your son storyline. And the other day, I was listening to a podcast, something kind of unrelated, but I heard about the Start Me Up, and so I checked it out. It's a mod by Tiny Manticore, and it
Say that again more slowly. Who is it by?
Tiny Manticore,
Tiny Manticore.
and it's called Start Me Up, and it's a pretty amazing alternate start mod. Um, you start out in the bathroom scene, where you're developing your character, what they look like.
That one bathroom scene where there's a skull kissing a teddy bear or something.
No, not that one.
The one with all the plungers in the stall. That one.
That one, yeah. But so what the mod does is it says, after you build the look of your character, you're in a dream, and as you walk out of the bathroom, it says, you're you realize you're dreaming, and so then from that point you start to describe the special characteristics of your character. So this, you set your special stats, you give yourself a name. There's an option to assign traits like you would in Fallout New Vegas. There's all the ones from Fallout New Vegas plus a few more. So that's pretty cool. Or you can choose not to have any traits.
And the traits are the one that's like, if you have a pair of glasses, you get +2 this, but you take -2 of that.
Exactly. Okay. And so they're the same thing. They're a give and take. There's nothing that's really going to make you OP. Then it asks, what am I doing with my life? And so from that point, you can go in and choose your alternate start. So you're a raider in a raider gang. You're I should have written a few of these things down. You're just given this huge list of things, much like the alternate start mod, that lets you pick your starting point. So since we're playing Fallout New Vegas, I got the idea that I would do a NCR Ranger that has been working his way across the U.S. Hunting down gunners because of their assistance with Caesar's Legion. And the NCRs wiped out the Legion, and so now they're on the march across the U.S. To bring it all under control of the NCR.
Is there some sort of lore-friendly explanation of gunners and Legion being buddy-buddy?
No.
No, okay.
But they're the kind of people that would hang out together. The gunners will work for anybody, and the Legion, likes people that don't ask questions.
Ad
so.
Victorium, yeah. The Brotherhood. What are you going to do with those guys?
I don't know where the story's going to go yet. I'm so far just concentrating on the gunners.
I want to know the story in between when he gets to Boston and when he left New Mexico, Arizona. Or no, Nevada. Where are we? Somewhere out there.
You start out in Nevada and end up, when you cross the river to where Caesar is, that's Arizona.
Arizona, okay. So what happens in between, like in Oklahoma and Kentucky? And I want to know what's out in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of this Fallout zone. You should write a little backstory.
I'll have to work on that.
that'd be good to hear. Um,
And then,
so,
so also once you've chosen, where you're going to start, then you also have the opportunity to choose what level you're going to start off with.
so I could already start at level 30, but I assume that levels up all the world around you as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And one thing to keep in mind is you can, and I've had to deal with this before when I've leveled up through the console commands. So one of the things that happens when you level up, naturally, is you're collecting junk all the way around, all along the way. When you artificially start at, say level 10, um, you don't have all the stem packs that you would have gathered up, and you don't have all the bobby pins you would have collected, and all the scrap to build stuff with, and all that. So
But
that's the one thing that you don't really think about until you artificially start at a higher level, and then you're like, oh crap, I don't have enough bobby pins to,
I can't make it out of this building.
no.
That's what the cheat chest is for, right? Right?
I don't know, no cheat chest.
Yes. I actually unloaded that before just to see what it was, like, and it is just like a room full of chests.
No.
Absolutely everything that you could ever want. And I'm just like, well,
I have the console
better
command.
unload.
I don't really need a cheat chest.
Yeah, that's right. It's like I better unload this. This is gonna get super dangerous very quickly. I could just see all sorts of problems arising, not just through my behavior, but maybe like the game. I don't know why, but I just felt like having everything out all at once would be problematic.
Yeah. Well, and it's really not that much fun to be overpowered.
And I like it.
Where's the challenge?
It's fun.
If I don't die every once in a while, it's just,
Yeah.
I'm not trying hard enough.
Now every once in a while, I like to load up that my first character that is the highest level. That she's probably almost 100 level by now, but she's got like the quad barrel auto lock missile launcher thing. It's just so much fun. But it's like you're right. It's just like even though the things are high leveled, it's still just bing, 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 boom, 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 boom. Everything's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So far I've tried a couple of characters with it, and it's really been enjoyable. It works really well. And so
I know you didn't write anything down, but do you have a couple examples or any memories of any of the things where you like? I woke you woke up as a gunner down in the Jamaica
yeah, so
or something.
I mean it has pretty much everything in it. For this one, I had him wake up in the church just outside of the federal
Stockpile, yeah.
yeah, and so I just walked up the hill to Sunshine Tidings and set up shop there.
Yeah. Professor Groovy.
There's a gunner camp on the overpass just outside of Sunshine Tidings. So that was my first hit.
I love that gunner pass because that was the first time I was practicing learning how to use the Minutemen artillery. As I set it up right there on the edge of the Sunshine's Tidings co-op, pointed right at the interstate, and I could get it to drop him right on top of the highway. It was great.
Nice.
Yeah, it took a little while to learn how to, position the thing, but I love that thing. I need to get back into 4 a little bit. Need to hop in just for a minute to get a little taste again.
Yeah, it's definitely been fun.
But of course, it is most likely for PC only.
Most likely,
I'm assuming. Start Me Up by Tiny Manicore. I highly doubt it's for Xbox. Definitely not PlayStation. They don't allow anything fun.
No.
But I'll look into that.
So, and then I also put in one called Beantown Interiors. that
Beantown. Let me guess. It opens up some of the closed buildings, maybe.
yep.
What have you found?
Um, so in Concord, there's a bunch of stuff opened up there. The houses that are up the hill, there's uh, there's dead bodies in there with little stories about how these settlers were trying to establish their little community there, and uh, one of the guys wanted to trade with um, uh, the Concord Raiders and ended up getting them all killed. So their stories on the terminals, and the bodies are scattered all over the houses. So, and then you just find all kinds of junk. I found a sting wing in one of them, and so I had to run for my life.
Yeah, run. um, that to me, I could be totally wrong and off base here, but that to me sounds like an Eleonora one. Is that wrong?
Yeah, no, this one's by Chuck Steele.
Chuck Steele. I, I
Although
think
I did download an Eleonora player home in Hangman's Alley,
Oh,
and it is just freaking gorgeous.
oh,
That girl can do an interior.
yeah. You said Beantown Interiors. That's probably why I assumed it was her, just because it has the word interior associated
Yeah.
with it. Yeah. But what does the player home in Hangman's Alley have a specific title?
Uh,
Eleanor's Hangman's Alley home or something like that. She usually
yeah,
like that.
it's pretty. Yeah, I think that's it.
Nice. Cool.
But so thanks to Chris for kicking me in the butt and getting me moving on Fallout 4 modding.
Yeah, it's been a long time, I feel like, since I've played Fallout 4. And you were mentioning, Ray, that you mod the hell out of Skyrim, so why not start modding Fallout 4? Well, one of the great advantages to modding Skyrim was that it's been out much longer, so there's a lot more successful mods created and a lot of cool stuff going on. And I feel like Fallout 4 mods are just still getting their feet under them compared
Yeah.
to, you know what I mean?
Well, so I was only playing Special Edition, so I had retired
Oh,
my Legacy install.
see,
Um,
you're,
so
you're not a victor. You're not a go back to the Legacy edition.
no, no, I didn't really have that much invested in it because I had only played it for the couple of months from the time that the Special Edition was announced.
Yeah.
Um, so
Yeah, I mean Victor's got curated characters with
yeah, he's got a lot of years invested in that.
yeah, definitely does. Well, here's the start of your years invested into getting a perfectly curated Fallout 4 character. Hey, we were comparing hours played the other day online. Lee is blasting me out of the water. Lee has so many hours, like 3 times what I've played Fallout 4. Do you know your hour count?
Let's pull it up here.
I'm at like 1700 on the Xbox One.
Yeah, so I'm only at 1683.
Well, you're right there with me. I'm just under 1700. I'm like 1660 or something like that. Yeah.
But yeah, I had almost completely switched over to Skyrim.
Yeah. And you realize you said only 1700 hours into one game. Most people would think that is quite a success in order to pull off 1700 hours of enjoyment from one title.
Well, it wasn't that long ago that. So when did Skyrim SE? That was November of last year.
Yeah, 2015 probably 16 must have been 16 because Fallout was 15.
Yeah.
Fallout 4 was 2015. Yeah, so Skyrim Special Edition was 2016. Yeah.
So when that came out, I had 1,300 hours into Fallout 4.
Oh, so that totally killed your Fallout 4. You only had 400 more hours. Only,
Yeah.
only 400 more hours. That's like 4 times through a really, really in-depth other game. That's hilarious. Oh man, awesome. So for the roundtable, at least, we've got the boomers coming up tonight that we'll be going through. I tried to get through as much as I could of the NCR portion of that. From what I gather, Ray, we try to organize it so that we're all interacting with the same factions at once. So we'll see it through the eyes of Mr. House, also Yes Man, and the Legion. I only did it through the NCR. Ray, are you familiar with the other factions enough to talk about those, or are we just going to hope that our playback guy or our play along people are going to cover that?
So I think it's all pretty much the same.
Is it okay?
For each one of them, uh, you have two options. You can either wipe out the boomers, or
Play
you
their
can recruit them
horribly
to your side.
play their horribly tediously long game.
They've got to be sure that they can trust you. Are you a good person?
No, I'm definitely not. You should not trust me, but still make me do 12 different things here, guys. That's hilarious. Oh, yeah. So, which faction are you? You are the Legion, Ray.
I am the Legion.
So why don't you tell us what is the how does the Legion, who sends you there? How do you get tipped off about the boomers and stuff like that? How do you kick this off with the Legion?
So after coming out of the bunker, after having wiped out the robots in Mr. House's underground fort bunker, you come up and talk to Caesar, tell him that all of the Securitrons are wiped out, and he thanks you, and then says, "Hey, I need you to go check out these boomers and see if they can either be recruited to our side or eliminated from fighting for the other side." And so, off you go. When you come out, you head out the road uh, to where the Air Force Base is. You come across a guy standing in the road, and he tries to warn you.
Yeah, what is that guy's deal?
Um, yeah, George, he's just, you
George
know,
George, man.
he's looking to do a little community service. I don't know if he'd gotten in trouble in New Vegas or what, but
Well,
so
he said I'm a gambler, and then he makes a bet with you, right?
yeah,
Okay, I can tell you how to get past this little defense that they have set up, but it'll cost you 300 caps. But the deal is, and he couldn't help himself. Like he could have just
yeah,
walked away with 300 caps, but he said, "Okay, now here's the gamble. If you make it back alive and see me again, then you get 600 caps." And you're like, "Oh shit, this guy's about to lose 600 caps."
yep,
Well, 300 technically, but
yeah. Um, yeah, so it's an easy bet if you've done this before. Um, or we'll just continue to reload the game until you finally get through. But
I have to admit it did take me a second to figure it out.
so the way that I do it is so first off, I dismissed all my followers so that they stay there with George and
Okay,
make sure he didn't run off with my money.
that's smart.
Um, and then I just follow along the edge of the cliff until there's a little gap in the rocks, and you can duck down and get back in there, and you don't take as much collateral damage from the shells falling around you.
Yeah.
And then once the shelling stops, then you pop up real quick and scurry down to the fence. And once you're at the fence, they don't fire at you anymore.
So you can get there in just like one break. So like there's a volley of artillery and then one break and then another volley and then you're at the fence and you're there already.
Well, so usually once I hunker down in the crack in the rocks, the volley finishes, then I can get back down. I can get down to the fence before the second volley starts.
That's amazing. It took me like 6 different rounds to get there. I was hopping back and forth because he makes reference to the buildings. That guy wasn't not Carlos. What was that guy's name?
George.
George. Um, so we run into George in the street, and he says it's all about he. Okay, for 300 caps, he gives you this wonderful bit of advice, right, Ray? It's like it's all about the timing, and you're like, what? Okay. And so I went up there, and it took me, 4 or 5 rounds of getting blasted by this artillery, and I was just trying to randomly run and duck and hide and sing. And then I figured out it's just a cycle of 14 rounds, and then a long pause, and then another cycle of 14 rounds, and then a long pause, and another cycle of 14. And he mentioned the building specifically, so I figured that there was a zigzag pattern that you had to do throughout those little bombed out buildings there. And so I was just going in between the buildings. Each building has a corner that you can brace yourself against and duck down and not get hit too bad. And by the time I got down there, I had at least 3/4 of my health left still. But yeah, you're right. Once you do get down to the fence, they stop launching their artillery at you, and one of the guys is like,
Yeah, it
"Hey,
comes at you with a missile launcher.
yeah, hey, what do you do? Hey, how'd you get down here?"
Yeah, so it might just be me, but I don't really take advice from people that have $300 or 300 caps riding on my demise.
Yeah, probably not.
So I just followed the rocks.
Well, I'm the kind of gullible person who says, "Oh, the game wrote that in there, so I must follow what the game says me to do." You know, probably not the wisest choice when someone's, like you said, betting betting that you're not coming back.
So you make it down to the entrance, and the guy with the missile launcher confronts you. Tell him you want to talk to his superior, and um, then Raquel comes up, and she's the gunner chief, and she escorts you to see Pearl. And even with the mod enhancements that I have that make people look so much better, Pearl is extremely wrinkled.
Yeah.
She definitely reminds me of older women that I've met in the desert before.
Long flowing skirts, leathery skin.
Uh, so she tells you that she's been waiting for you to come along and for a long time.
Yeah, I remember there was a line like, "You've been waiting on me, like a prophecy."
Yeah, so it's not quite like when yeah, shoot, I forgot. Never mind. Oh,
I one thing that I noticed she was wearing, I don't remember the number, 43. She's got a vault suit on.
yeah, they all do. They all came from the same vault.
So they're 43. They and then you get into their
Vault
backstory.
34.
Is it 34? Maybe. I don't remember exactly. But how do you actually get into the backstory of who the boomers are?
You go to the museum.
There's a little kid involved, right?
Yep.
I went and talked to this little kid. I don't even remember his name. I'm such a bad host.
Pete.
Pete. But that's a great way
The
to
name of the quest is For Pete's Sake.
Oh, for Pete's sake, there you go. Yeah, if I knew the name of the quest, that might help too, Ray. But Pete is a very knowledgeable little guy about the whole history of their people, the Boomers. Probably a little bit force fed and over exaggerated in favor of the Boomer side, I would assume. Little bit boisterous
You
on
know,
in favor of how cool the Boomers are, the struggles they've had, where they've come from, where they've been. Do you remember any the exactly specifics? I do remember like every time I had a little speech check or a there was no barter. There was speech and there was something else, but it kept kind of bouncing back and forth between two different kinds of checks, and I was really high in both of them, so I just kept like getting all kinds of fame just from this one conversation with Pete. It was great.
yeah. So speech and survival.
Survival, yeah, that is one of my those are two of my assigned things. Yeah, my speech is definitely at 100. My medicine was the third one. It is also at 100, which came into play in this quest as well, for some patience later on at some point. And then survival, yeah, my survival is up over 80 something. It's not quite 100 yet, and I'm still trying to learn. Right, I don't think that the crafting stuff is quite as intuitive in this. I'm still trying to learn how to like make stuff at the fire pits. I don't think that the ingredients are number one and nearly as abundant, and number
Right.
two as easy to see. Like I think I'm just walking past stuff that I'm not realizing are ingredients.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, that could be because a lot of them are just like shrubs.
Yeah, yeah. I think that is a lot of it. I'm just not noticing what they are. Is there a perk like in Fallout 4 that highlights containers that have items you like? Is there like a perk that will highlight ingredients like that?
I don't know.
That'd be a good
I've
one.
never really I've never really pushed the survival part.
Yeah, no one ever does because why?
Yeah,
Maybe we'll do
there's impacts.
I should do an unarmed survival pacifist. You know what I mean? Someone who's they don't fight. They just do they cook a lot. They camp out. You know, of powwows under the stars. Fight
Yeah,
cazadors. Their bare
with their bare hands. Not good luck with that. Let me know how that goes.
just sing it to sleep, I guess. I don't know. Oh, there, Cazador. Calm down, buddy. Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely get our fair share of cazadors in this quest.
Oh my goodness. Um. Okay, so what have you done? They tell us their backstory about the boomers. Oh, do we need to get into that? We could have brushed over that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a series of different things that you can do to gain fame with the boomers. So one of them is to do the history. Um,
Yeah.
the other one is to help the doctor with the guys that got injured
Yeah,
going after the ants in the generator room.
exactly. There's some guys went to attack those ants and they got hurt. For doc, it's not Dr. Lorenzo. No,
Argyle.
Dr. Argyle. So there's some hurt patients, and if my medicine was high enough, so I could just pass that check. What do you have to do if you can't pass that medicine check? Do you know what the alternative route for that solution is?
Well, I mean, you don't.
It's either pass or don't.
Yeah, you can either pass and fix them up, or you got to do something else to get your fame up. So fortunately for me, I have medicine 40, so that got me one patient, and then I had a magazine that got me to 50, and that took care of another one. And all you need to do is two of them to get the bump, and he thanks you, and off you go.
Great.
So then I went and talked to Raquel, who sends you to take out the ants.
Yeah, yeah. Over at the generator room, there's 8. I don't know. How many ants are down there, do you think?
I don't know, because I went and talked to Loyal first and got the sonic emitter.
Oh, nice. I read about that. What can tell me a little bit about the sonic emitter thing? I didn't actually run into it in the game.
So you go and talk to Loyal, tell him you're going to be going down there to take care of the ants, and that Raquel said that he was working on some secret weapon, and he gives you this emitter and says, well, I haven't been able to test the frequency, but if you can put it on the ant's nest, then turn it on. You'll see if it works or not. So we went through and had to take out a couple of them, but between Cass, Eddie, and Sonny, they made pretty quick work of them.
Oh, nice.
So dropped down and put this sonic emitter in the ant's nest and turned it on, and it makes a little bit of a noise, but then all of a sudden you start getting the kill points for all the ants that die because of the emitter, and then everywhere you walk around you see dead ants everywhere.
Are they just exploding and where they stand?
Yep.
That was one thing that she mentioned before I went in. I noticed is that you're not supposed to use energy weapons because they explode in your face. You're not supposed to use melee weapons because they explode in your face. But guns are okay for some reason.
Yeah, because she said the ants have been eating the gunpowder from the howitzer shells.
So I don't understand why ballistic, guns are fine, but energy weapons are a big no-no. So I I forgot that little fact first and went in with my power fist swinging and destroyed my face a few times before I realized, oh, I'm because I've been having so much fun with the power fist.
Oh yeah.
Are they called power fists? Yeah.
Yep.
I've been having lots of fun with those in this game because they actually have a little cool explosion with them, and they're really fun in this game. I don't know why they lost that sort of style for Fallout 4. That doesn't make any sense, but
no.
I've been having lots of fun running around punching stuff with that. But these ants are not. You do not want to punch these giant ants with your fists. You have to step back and use your. I used a pistol. Used a rifle. Hey, I wanted to ask: do the boomers, are they just sort of ambivalent and hate everyone the same from the outside, or are they any less creeped out by the NCR than the Legion? They hate the NCR and Legion just the same.
Yeah, everybody. There isn't you're the first person that's come through the gate since they got there.
And how does Pearl actually know about the outside world, about the Legion, about the NCR, and all this stuff? Radio and stuff, or how does she get in her info?
Yeah, probably Mr. New Vegas.
Yeah. Okay, so what else can we do? There was a few other things.
So Loyal wants you to work on the broken
you can
solar arrays.
Realign the solar arrays. I went out. That is way the F down the road. I went out there and tried to do that. I got both of the east.
It's right where the ants are.
It's on top of the ants, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Is this the one where you align them?
Well, you have to fix them.
See, I can't fix those, but I see this must be a different one because there's ones that you fix, and I went and tried to interact with it and said you need a repair of I don't remember what it was, 40 maybe, in order to.
I think it's 60.
60. Oh, geez. I'm not anywhere close to that. That's for damn sure. So I can't do anything with those, but it said I needed to go find spare parts. And there's a
Helios 1.
Okay, yeah, that's all the way down the road. So
yeah, that's down by Novak.
If you go down to Helios 1, you also have the option that says use the power source of Helios 1 to send power to anywhere that you choose, and you have to choose where you want to send the power to. Someone else, someone earlier, what was that guy's name? Some had a
Mr. Fantastic.
fantastic, yeah. He's like, wants you to send power to two specific places because those are the places that pay him to send power, of course. So,
Yeah.
I didn't get it to break because there was a course marker that was pointing me somewhere that I couldn't figure out what it's doing. Like, it's one of those things that is pointing sort of above and beyond you, and you're like, okay, I have to find the door that gets me up and back behind that or something. But like, I just couldn't find where it was sending me to go, so I had to leave that one hanging. I could never figure out how to finish that one. And then there's one where you point the east and west. You have to realign the mirrors or something. And I got both the east and west terminals to align everything, but then there's one last thing you had to punch to get that. And the same thing. There was another quest marker that I couldn't figure out where the fuck it was pointing me to.
So you have to go up in the tower.
There's a tower. Okay. God, it's so weird. It's just like all this stuff was hanging. I wanted to look it up, but like I kept resisting the urge to just like Google it or whatever,
Yeah, yeah. You go up in the tower. You have to fight your way up to the top. There's all kinds of pre-war security measures in place to keep people out.
Okay, there was a basement though too with that, right? Wasn't that also one of the things you could do to earn fame? Was to go clear out the old. Someone had accidentally tripped a security system somewhere that had set off the pre-war Securitron. There was like there was my first run-in with what are those big ones? What are the big Securitron Protectron guys called? Oh, the tank
Sentry bots.
sentry bots. Yeah, yeah. Ran into one of those guys, and I punched him in the face with the power of the cell phone. Great, man. Yeah. But yeah, so there was a basement you had to clear out too, so I have to go clear out that tower as well. Nice. Okay. There was a stupid quest marker. I don't feel like they are very good in New Vegas. Fallout 4 is good about letting you know if it's above you too, like if it's a story above or story below.
Yeah.
Your distance and your elevation difference. But yeah. I don't know. I just need to learn to manipulate the map a little better. Or I probably just need to pay attention to what the characters are saying more and they're actually telling me where I need to go.
There's some of that too.
Yeah. I'm just rushing through menus too quickly, I bet.
Yeah.
All right, so ant misbehaving, that's one that I did do. That's one when you go kill the ants. Young hearts.
Yeah, so Jack Loyal's assistant in the hangar has been looking through the binoculars at the
oh yeah
at the Crimson Caravan compound and fell in love with the red-headed dot in the in the binoculars. So, and come to find out she was looking at him too. So,
come to find out she was a dude. Oh.
Yeah, so you can there's a few ways you can play that. You can tell her, yeah, no problem, they're waiting for you, just go ahead and go, and get her blown up.
Do it.
Or you can give her a boomer outfit that Jack gives you after you get permission from Rose for him to have this girl come. And then you got to get with McCafferty and convince her to let the girl out of her contract, and then they live happily ever after.
How do you convince her that she wants to move in with the boomers?
Well, all you have to do is tell her that Jack likes her and that he wants to meet her.
That's ridiculous. No woman is so easily swayed.
And so, I had to pop a barter magazine to get enough to pass the speech check, and convinced her that McCafferty would have an in at the Boomer should they decide to start trading with the rest of the Mojave.
That almost seems like some dirty sort of business there, Ray. It's almost like a
Why? The boomers are opening up. They're going to need trade.
I don't know. There's people involved. There's money changing hands. That just feels strange.
No, the coyote is all about the commerce.
The Legion. So have you worked into the Legion into all of this?
Right now he's just doing work. He's getting he's getting in with another group of people that he looks to make money off of. So he hasn't really been asked to do anything untowardly. So
Have you ever played it the NCR side?
yeah, the first time I played NCR
You go speak.
because it's hard not to.
Yeah, you get sent there from the NCR embassy on the strip, but you go talk to Ambassador Dennis Crocker.
Hmm.
The guy cracks me up because you're sitting there talking to him, and he's typing in his computer, and you're having this really long, drawn out conversation, like you mentioned earlier, about the boomers and getting them on your side, and there's ammunition that they have that they need to get on your side. And he's sitting there just still typing on his computer, but he's been looking at you for like a solid 5 minutes having a straight conversation, but he's still typing on his computer. Like he's obviously filling out some very important like paperwork or writing a dissertation of some sort. But it was just really funny that he didn't stop typing and like actually turn and look at you, but his hands just were going the whole time. I just thought that was really funny.
So
All
I did forget to mention that. So when I did go in and set up the sonic emitter to kill all the ants,
Yeah.
I came across a corpse, and laying next to the corpse was the um, grenade rifle thump thump.
Oh, you have a named grenade. I got a grenade rifle, but it was not named.
Yeah, so a lot of the boomers carry grenade rifles.
Nice. Is that a weapon that you like?
No, I'll probably sell it.
Oh. What does thump thump add? I assume there's some sort of benefit to thump thump.
Yeah, it's just a high level grenade rifle.
Yeah.
I
Uh,
think Arthur toted it around for a while.
oh, great. Shout out to
But
Arthur. I think Pat's got a few more Arthur adventures to get to before Arthur is through, I believe.
yep, yep. Yeah, I think he's got almost 10 episodes to go.
Sounds good. Um what else were you able to do to convince the boomers?
So that was really all I needed. Um, helping Raquel, helping Loyal fix the solar arrays, helping the doctor, and getting Jack and his girl hooked up.
Yeah.
Got me the
Did you listen to the kid?
no.
Okay, so there's four things. You have to help four people then? I think I've got three. I think I need to help one more.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, it just depends on, you've got to get that.
Oh, it's dependent upon your fame with
Yeah,
them, not how many people you've helped, but
right. Just
okay.
to get to that fame level that'll kick Pearl up to send you to talk to Loyal about um, their big dream.
Okay, yeah. Oh God, we didn't even get into that. Can we quickly get into their big dream?
So Loyal had read an article in an old magazine about a World War II bomber that had gone down in um, Lake Mead. So it was a B-29, I think.
Uh-huh.
And it was mostly intact. And so he wants you to attach some ballast to it and raise it up out of the water so that they can bring it back and build a working bomber.
How long's it been underwater?
Uh, well, since the 1940s.
Oh, a very long time at least.
Yep.
Oh man. So they want you. They have Loyal, right? Is his name? He has the Loyal's detonator. You're supposed to go put some floaty devices on each wing
Yep.
and bring the old bomber up.
Yeah,
Uh,
and so you talk to Jack, and he's been working on a rebreather,
yeah,
so that you don't have to constantly swim up and down,
go up for air.
gasping for air.
That has a. You have to have a science of 45 to pass that check, or you can bring him a pressure cooker. Those are the two things you have to do to get the rebreather.
So when I first started, this character out and started, going through the Mojave Wasteland, um, I couldn't remember why I wanted a pressure cooker, but I knew that I needed a pressure cooker.
So
so
I pressure.
so when this came up, I said, "How about this one right here?"
I clicked on pressure cooker because I saw that it was a clickable link, and it brought up the locations of pressure cookers.
Uh,
And the place that they're about to send you, um, to go get the plane, Lake Mead.
right?
There's like a cabin or something near there, and in that cabin there's a pressure cooker. But don't you have to have the pressure cooker to get the rebreather first before going there?
Yeah,
Otherwise, they're telling you that you can go down there, check the cabin, then go all the way back, then get the rebreather, then go all the way back again
yeah.
to Lake Mead. Yeah.
But you got to fight your way through all the lake lurks.
Mm, lake
There's quite
lurks.
a few of those.
Love a good lake lurk.
Yeah, and quite a few cazadors along the way too. And Cheyenne's really good at working on cazadors.
Cheyenne is Sonny's dog.
Sonny's dog. Yep.
Sonny's
Uh,
Sonny die
so
in your playthrough? Was that you?
no,
So
no, she's still alive and cooking.
I thought someone killed Sonny.
No, and
You know,
it's
who's
kind of hilarious because whenever we go to visit Caesar, they have to wait
yeah.
outside while I go inside the tent. And the first thing she does is she walks over to the guard at the entrance to the tent and starts chatting him up, telling him all about all
Ooh.
the stuff going on in the wasteland.
Yeah, she's just trying to get in good with the Legion.
Yeah.
Two sided.
So
That's fun.
you get out to the bomber, you attach the flotation device, you come back, and when you get up by the giant harpoon, which I'm not sure what that's doing there, um,
In case a
it
giant
starts
whale.
beeping. Yeah, in case those freshwater whales. Um, and so it starts beeping. You pull the trigger, and the bomber floats to the top.
How do they get it? Never mind. They're not
So
going to get it.
so then you go back. You go back and tell Loyal that it's floating,
Uh-huh.
and he tells you that he's going to send um, the robots out uh, to tear it all down and bring it back to the base.
Okay, so they're going to take it apart and then put it back together. Okay.
Yep. And shoot, who?
But the boomers are over infatuated with explosions. That's why they want to get this B-52 bombers, because they want to be able to explode the
They want
whole
to drop
Earth.
bombs. Yep.
They want to blow shit up.
Carpet bombing.
Good for them. Good to have aspirations, I guess.
Yeah. So I can't remember if it was Loyal or Pearl mentioned that they would do a little uh, little shelling of a empty space to draw the attention of the Legion, because uh, the bomber is just right at the base of the peninsula where the fort is,
Yeah,
just
it's
to keep their attention away from it.
oh, I see. They were going to
Just a
do a
diversionary tactic.
version. Okay, make a lot of noise elsewhere so they didn't notice the plane popping up. Because I was just about to say, what happens when the plane is just floating there and you're on your way back to go tell people, and on your way back to come get the plane again, and then you're like, oh shit, someone stole the plane while we were
Yeah.
left it laying there on the top of the surface of the water too long.
Yeah. So then I went back to Caesar, let him know that the boomers were on my side and that they were at our disposal. So
What are they actually going to provide?
bombing.
So they're artillery cannons, basically.
Nope. They get the plane going.
Oh, they actually get the plane to work? No, they don't.
We'll see.
That's crazy.
It,
That's really cool. Fun, fun, fun. Is there any other stuff that we get into with the boomers? Side
no.
stuff besides? I mean, there was like 7 little quests you could do in there, and you only get like 500 XP for that. Granted, each of those 7 quests that you could do, you also get like 300 or 400 XP per one of those. So altogether encompassing, you could get $2,000 in XP for doing all of those things plus the things that go boom.
Yeah, I went up 2 levels during that, so
yeah, there's lots of stuff to do there.
There's definitely plenty there.
Yeah. Is there equally as much stuff to do with the White Glove Society and all the other like factions like that? Like next,
I think the boomers may be the most involved.
yeah. Nice. Ray, is there anything else we need to mention for this week about these quests?
I think that's it.
Great. So let's get into what
don't forget to go back and get your 600 caps from George.
Oh yeah, I that's stuff that I do. Like I'll walk away from the casino and realize that I didn't get all my weapons back. You have to go back and get shit. Okay, so what are we doing here next Thursday? Everybody, all you Mr. House people will be working on your side quests. So please write us in an email, send us in a voicemail, that sort of thing. Tell us what you're doing on the side to build up XP. Yes, man. You side bets. You'll be going into the White Glove Society. NCR. We'll be doing King's Gambit and Caesar's Legion. Render unto Caesar Part 3. White Glove Society. Is there anything you can tell me about the White Glove Society just off the bat here? A little hint or a teaser?
Make sure all your flesh is covered.
Flesh.
Yeah, they're cannibals.
Okay, fun. Good stuff. All right. So
Caesar mentions that when he tells you that, talks to you about going to talk to them.
Oh, great.
They're cannibals. You might be able to use that for leverage.
Oh, it's wonderful. So Ray, anything else you'd like to get into this evening?
No, I think that pretty much covers it for me.
Look in our show notes, everybody, for all of our links for like Twitter and Facebook group and all that. Also, our brand new Patreon link. If you'd like to feel like supporting us for $1 a month, please head on over there to the Patreon and support us. We would appreciate it very, very much. And on that note, Ray, thank you for being with me tonight.
Always a pleasure.
And everybody, we will see you in the wasteland.
Was I supposed to sing here?
Thank you for downloading this episode of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. If you are interested in doing a play-along character with us, the show can be contacted by emailing falloutroundtable@gmail.com. For the Roundtable schedule, our Amazon link, and all other show information, please head on over to asapodcasting.com, where you will find the Fallout Feed, a Skyrimatic podcast, our YouTube channel, the Chatterbox, as well as other content. Once again, thank you for downloading, and we'll see you in the wasteland.